on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a stream. You ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream. It's coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
Gotta get it right now. Yeah, push over limits with you right now. Gotta get it right now. Yeah, push over limits with you right now. Gotta get it right now. Yeah, push over limits with you right now. Gotta get it right now. Yeah, push over limits with you right now. Right now, right now. Get it right now, right now, right now. Get it right now, right now, get it right now. Yeah, push over limits with you right now.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the HVAC Uncensored Podcast. Got a two for this week. Guys, as always, I always start off by talking about those companies who help make this podcast possible. I have two of the most amazing sponsors that I read every week, mixed in with all of the others. Guys, first and foremost, if you have not checked them out, check out Company Cam. Guys, the only app that every HVAC company needs, Company Cam, makes it dead simple to communicate, document, and problem solve with your technicians, no matter where you are. Hold on. Sorry, guys, heard something in the background. Company Cam brings documentation, communication, and liability protection together in one simple, easy-to-use app for you and your entire team. Take unlimited photos and videos, share custom reports, create flawless before and afters, and even communicate and share progress with customers and property owners with galleries and project timelines, all from your smartphone. Company Cam is the only app every HVAC company needs. Check it out at companycam.com/HVAC Uncensored. Go get a free 14-day trial. Free, risk-free, cost you nothing. And if you happen to like it, for being a part of HVAC Uncensored Nation, you will get 50% off of your first 2 months. Okay, that is companycam.com/HVAC Uncensored. Don't say I never did anything for you. All right. Last but definitely not least is my friends over at Yellow Jacket. As most of you know, I'm a second generation HVAC tech, 20 plus years in the trade, but I always think back to those days of working with my dad that I cherish so much. My dad always said your tools are an extension of yourself. If you buy quality tools and take care of them, they'll take care of you. Most of the time, you only have to buy them once. Well, that brand I think back to is Yellow Jacket. They've been making quality products for 70 years and counting, making them right here in the US of A. If you're looking for quality tools that you can depend on and get the job done, then look no further than Yellow Jacket. Yellow Jacket has been trusted by my family for generations now, and we don't plan on stopping anytime soon. So remember, 70 years of expertise built into every tool. Guys, go check out both of these sponsors. They're both amazing companies, and I am very honored to be partnered with both of them. All right, let's get on with this pledge. Got a great show for you guys tonight. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless the United States, and thank you to all those men and women who defend it.
Five, four, three, two, one, go.
Welcome to the #1 rated HVAC podcast. If you're looking to grow in the HVAC industry, then you're in the right spot. Blue collar people talking about blue collar shit. Let's get better together. So turn up the volume, buckle your seatbelt, and let's welcome your host, Gil KV Jr.
What is up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Welcome back to the HVAC Uncensored Podcast. Guys, I got a good show for you tonight, man. This is what I've been asking for so long. I know we have different companies that come on and, talk about their product, or different people that come on and talk about services that they offer to help people. And those are great. Don't get me wrong. I love having those kind of podcasts. But I've always said that I want to have you guys on, the listeners, the guys out there and girls out there every day working in the industry, doing the job, hearing your stories. And I finally got reached out by a young man who is going to come on and talk, and I'm so fucking happy to have him. So everybody put your hands together and let's welcome Mr. Trevor Laws. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man?
Nothing much, man. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. You're the first one of just like normal HVAC guys that came on. So you just like, I feel like I should like give you a trophy or something. You know what I mean?
Man, I appreciate having me on.
Yeah, of course, man. So I guess let's start off, let everybody know where you're from, how long you've been in the trade, all that kind of jazz.
I'm from North Carolina. I just work for a small business. I've done 3 different HVAC jobs, just kind of switched around, jumped around. Did I already say where I was from? I'm from North Carolina.
Yeah.
I think I said that. I don't remember. But, yeah, I just kind of jumped around and found a place that I've kind of settled down with, and they do things the right way and the good way. So hopefully it sticks out.
Yeah. And that happens, man. And I say all the time, like, obviously you don't want to be that guy that jumps around from company to company and every summer you're looking for a new job. But let's be honest, though, the first company that you start your career with probably isn't going to be the company that you retire with, So sometimes you have to find that company that's going to stick out for you and stuff like that. So that's cool that you realize that at a younger age.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of companies out there that do stuff the wrong way and the right way, and I assume if I'm going to learn it, I'd rather learn it the right way.
No, that's good that you have enough common sense to realize that. Are you on the residential, commercial, industrial side? What side are you on?
Residential mostly. We do a little bit of commercial.
That's cool. That's like most companies. It's good to be versatile, to be able to learn both of them. So you said you've been in the trade now, like 2.5, 3 years, something like that?
Yeah, that's probably pretty close to it.
Nice. That's cool. So let me ask you this. What got you, like, what made you do HVAC? You got a family member? Was it random? How'd you get into it?
It was actually pretty random. My old boss, I used to work for a pharmacy warehouse, and my old boss had a buddy that done H. He wanted somebody that literally knew nothing about HVAC. He wanted to train him, take him on, do all that. So I talked to my dad about it. My dad told me it wasn't a good idea, so I went and done it.
Nice. I mean, hey, and to be honest, a lot of times as somebody who runs an HVAC company now, um, people that don't know anything but have a good personality, they work hard, they got common sense, good morals. Sometimes they turn out being the best technician because you can teach somebody to do HVAC. You can't teach them to not be a shitbag. Hate to say it that way, but that's kind of the truth, you know? Um, so I'm not sure if I missed that at the end. So did you just start working in the trade and learn that way, or did you go to trade school? What route did you take?
So I jumped in it just literally not knowing anything, and then I'd say probably 6 to 8 months. I went to school for a little while. I did duct work, heat pump technology, and comfort and cooling. And then COVID hit, and they were telling me I was going to have to do a lot of it on the computer. So I dropped out of that. And it helps if you have like if you know how do I put this in words? So if you have the concept of things, if you have the concept and you go to school, so like let's say you do it a year and then you go to school, yeah, I could see it helping because it lets you see inside of things. It shows you how things work. But if you just go to school and do it, I mean, I don't suggest doing that. I'd say at least do it a year in the field and then go.
No, I'd have to say I agree with you. Like, I would never tell anybody not to go to school. I would just say do your research. You know, kids coming out of school, if you're going to college, you're not just going to go to some random fucking college, right? You're going to do a little bit of research. You're going to look into it, maybe talk to somebody who went there. Same thing when it comes to trade school. Look it up, look at the reviews. I mean, see if maybe like one of these groups, I mean, you got to be able to find somebody that's went to it, especially if it's one of the chain ones, because I just feel like some of them are get them in, get them out, get them in, get them out. Um, and then people get these false hopes. They get out of school, think they should be making $40 an hour, and they realize they're glorified filter changers. So that's what I worry about. But no, I agree. So do you think, like where you are right now, like technical wise, do you think that little bit of school helped, or do you think you could be where you are without it?
I would say it definitely helped to an extent. It helped kind of speed things up. I would probably still be where I'm at now, more than likely, just because I'm learning a whole lot faster now. Everything comes to me very easily. But, a year and a half ago, you had to tell me something 3 or 4 times for me to remember it. But yeah, I mean, school definitely did help a little bit. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, that's good. One thing I always say, man, when you're first starting, don't ever be afraid to make mistakes. Just make new mistakes. You know, as us guys that have been in the trade for 20 years and been a long time, I always tell all the guys that I work with, I've made a shit ton more mistakes than you have, and that's the truth. That's the only way that you're gonna learn as you do things. So for you and what you do now, are you mainly in install? You in service? Like what kind of avenue do they have you
I
in?
I get a little taste of service here and there. I'm definitely more wanting to learn the service side of it. I do a lot of installs. I've always done installs. But yeah, I mean the service thing, yeah, it comes easier. So the boss man ain't wasting his time as much and wasting his money as much teaching me. But I mean, yeah, and on the mistake thing, yeah, I mean, be proud of your mistakes, but try not to make them twice.
Yeah, exactly. And that's really what happens. And to be honest, I think that's probably the best path to go is to start off going into installs, learn how it's supposed to look, what all the parts are, how to install it properly, and get good at it. It was always you start as the outside guy, changing line sets, hooking up the outdoor unit, pad whip, disconnect, that kind of stuff. Maybe it starts off taking you 4 or 5 hours, and then you get it done in 3 hours, then 2 hours. Slowly get better. Then you become the inside guy. Then you start learning how to make transitions and all that kind of stuff. I think once you do that and then you go into service is actually one of the better paths. See, I didn't do that. I started out doing commercial, industrial, HVAC, kitchen equipment, refrigeration, and then I just kind of backed my way into residential. So I was never like a true installer. which I'm not the greatest at ductwork, so that kind of haunts me now. Now I'm in a position I don't have to, but um, can I make it? I can make it. I know how to design and I airflow, all that kind of stuff. But the guys that start out like you're doing, I mean, I watch them like, hey, can you go back and make a transition? Like, oh yeah, boop, 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 boop. Me, I'm sitting there like, all right, fucking 18, all right, fucking 20, you know what I mean? So it's actually it's a good path that you're taking. So I think you're on a good route. What are you guys? So when you're in North Carolina, you guys get what? Gas furnaces, heat pumps. Do you guys have boilers out there?
We work on boilers somewhat, but no, not typically. I don't know a whole lot about boilers, but no, not typically.
That's fine. I didn't know if there was a bunch of them out there. Real fast. What's up, everybody in the chat that's out there? Mr. Hughes, man, what's up, buddy? Mr. C Young, HVAC 214. The people on Facebook. This doesn't, since it's a private group, it doesn't give me your name. I apologize. So it looks like Pat Finley, Jeremy Henline, and Adam. What's up, Adam? Are you inland or are you on the coast? 'Cause I know some people on the coast, and you guys have like the saltwater issues with outdoor units and stuff.
No, I mean we're 3 hours from the coast.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I know some of them people, man, that they well, I mean, we have the coast here, but it's Eastern Shore. It's not by me. And I know Adam. Love you too, buddy. He put middle fingers in the chat. I know all those people out there, they have that problem with like saltwater eating outdoor units and stuff. I'm glad we don't have that. What brand are you guys installing?
We do a lot of American Standard.
Oh, nice. Train guys. That's cool. That's cool. I mean, so have you done it enough to really have a preference? Do you like installing them? Do you have any like something like, man, I wish this
I
was
like
better?
Train. I like Train. I'm not too. I'm not a Goodman guy. I would say. I mean, but I've always installed I guess the high end units, Train, American Standard. But the Goodman for the price, I mean, for sure, and the warranty on that, I mean, it's hard to beat. It really is.
Yeah, I was I was a Carrier guy for years, man. That's all I ever did. You couldn't have told me that Carrier wasn't the best unit out there. I would have fought you to the fucking death. But I'll be honest, we sell a little bit of everything now, but we sell a lot of Goodman stuff, and because of the warranty, in that 16, 18 range, I mean, we have a deal worked out through a private label program, so we could put like our label on it, but we don't do all that. We just keep it the same. Anything 16 SEER 2-stage or 16 SEER variable speed and up, we can give them a 10-year labor warranty, and you can't beat it. And some customers are like, "Fuck yeah, I'll take that warranty over it." So my thing is, I give them options, and I'm not going to sit here and say that some brands aren't better than others, but till the day I die, I will always believe it is more about how it's put in than what brand it is. Unless we're talking about like Nordyne, Air Temp, those things are pieces of shit. We'll just say that. So that's so when you're installing, you do like mainly the outside stuff. You doing inside stuff too, or?
No, I mean I do everything for the most part.
Nice. That's good for being 2.5 years. I mean, only in like 2.5, 3 years, because I mean, I know a lot of guys that are in 2, 3 years and they're on installs, but they're slow. I mean, like we had a guy that it was taking him like 6 hours to do an outdoor unit. I mean, it's bad when the guy inside is done the indoor unit doing it by himself and then comes out and helps the outside guy put on the vacuum. It's like, what are we doing out here? Like, what are you throwing, a picnic? I mean, like, so it's crazy. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Isaiah in the chat. So you guys, so like at 2.5, 3 years, you have like all your own tools. Does your company provide some things for you? I mean, do they give you like vacuum pumps, all that kind of stuff?
Oh yeah. That we'll supply our own hand tools, but yeah, I mean I've got pretty much everything that I need, I would say.
Cool. You a digital man, analog? You old school, or you rocking some new digitals?
I would say I'm pretty old school, to be honest with you. I don't have a whole lot of digital stuff.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, man. And to be honest, like I think eventually everybody's gonna go to the whole digital manifolds and stuff like that. But I think it's good to learn on analogs, man, on the old analogs, especially once you first like you start breaking into doing like when you go to be a service guy, like you're not doing installs and you're checking superheat and subcooling to be able to do the old time calculations and stuff like that, subtracting and stuff like that. Because I feel like a lot of younger guys come out and they get the digital stuff because it's nice, and that's fine. I get wanting it. But they know what superheat and subcooling are. But if you don't know what it's supposed to be, then it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? So, um, oh, David Lavender, what's up, buddy? Yeah, no, you can keep the iManifold, man. I got enough shit. I don't need that. I didn't know that was you, man. Uh, yeah, there was a manifold back. It's been a few years back. It was called the iManifold. That was the Buzz, and it was one of the first like true wireless ones. And I got it, ended up selling it, and he's the one that I sold it to. So that's funny. Yeah, it's pretty funny. So how are you? So like right now, are you guys slow? You have installs every day. You like not getting 40 hours, or how is it where you guys are?
No, I wouldn't say. I mean, we're pretty steady for the time of year it is. We probably do 3 to 4 installs a week, I would say. Um, but we do a lot of other stuff too. Like right now, we're hanging heaters and doing gas lines and doing stuff like that. But we get our hands wet in a little bit of everything.
That's good, man. And so I know you said you're like what matter? I don't know if you know. I don't know if you said the size. How big is the company you work for? Like how many techs? How many people?
I would say it's small. I think it's only 6 or 7 of us, maybe.
That's decent size. I mean it's smaller, but that's decent size. I mean it's not like it's the owner, you, and somebody else, or just you and the owner. So that's a decent size. And so what do you have um like one, two, three installers, the rest are service, or is it smaller and everybody's kind of universal? I know a lot of smaller companies are like that.
Yeah, it's more of a universal thing. We've got 2, I would say, service techs for sure, and then the rest are installers. But if we ain't got much going on, then he'll let us go get our hands wet in the service side of it.
Sweet. Are you the youngest guy there?
No, I think I'm the third youngest.
Oh, nice. So you got a couple younger guys, and the old guys kind of show you the ropes.
Yeah, that's basically how I lost shit talking.
That's funny, man. Well, that's good for your owner, man. If he's got some young guys that wanna work, because it's sad part is, man, guys like you and the younger guys who have the hustle and kind of know how that want to do stuff. You guys are like unicorns, man. It's hard to find, the younger guys coming in the trade who give a damn. Sadly, there's more of them old guys retiring off than there is guys like you coming in. So that's just the truth. The numbers prove it. So that's why I was saying earlier about how a lot of times, you know, how your boss or however you got in is kind of how it works. You're bullshitting with a guy at a gas station or Chick-fil-A, and you see he's got a good personality and a good head on his shoulders, and it's like, hey man, you want a job? You know what I mean? Like, I'll teach you HVAC, just for that reason. Um, I meant to ask you before, the school you went to, was it a local thing, or was it like a bigger chain that you were doing?
It was a community college. They just had an HVAC program there, but I mean, the whole teaching thing. I mean, yeah, everything went good on that side of it. They had a really good facility to work out of.
Nice. Let me see. My lead is about 22 years old. Been training him since he was in high school. That's awesome, David. It's good to get them young guys that want to, want to work, man. So how old are you, bud?
I'm 20 years old.
Nice. 20 years old. So you got the world by the balls, man. So you live on your own? You still with mom and dad? You got girlfriend, stuff like that? Like, how's that work?
No, I'm actually moved out. I've been moved out for about 2 years now.
Damn.
Basically when I turned 18, which I'm a very independent person. So basically when I turned 18, I had a little money in my pocket. I was at the house.
That's sweet. You trying to move to Maryland? I was gonna say, man, like, nah, that's yeah, that's pretty sweet. When it comes to, so let me ask you this: when it comes to installs, like, what is like what are you really good at, and what is your biggest challenge? Like, you think like I got to get better at this, like in the near future. Like, how would you grade yourself on that?
I would say I'm pretty decent with everything besides wiring. Wiring, I don't know what it is with wires, but it just confuses the hell out of me. I mean, I can't, to save my life, just cannot figure it out. Like, I feel like everything's different on the wiring situation of it. Um, I've been getting my hands wet in a little bit of high voltage lately, and I mean, it's been proven to whoop my ass. I won't lie about that. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, I feel like I'm pretty good at everything else. I'm big on looks though. I like my stuff to look clean and look good.
You should. I mean, and like we tell our installers, man, like you should. If you're a painter, that's your masterpiece. When you get done, you should be able to look at it and be like, "Fuck yeah, I did that." You know, because if as a service guy, if I go into a house and I see like a really good install that another company or somebody else did, I'm gonna give them credit and be like, "Man, like they knocked this out of the park. Like this is a sweet install." You know, we always talk about the ones we go on that look like shit, but we don't talk about the ones we go on giving somebody else respect, though. You know, but and when it comes to see wiring, I'm lucky. Wiring is something that I just naturally like got. But I think that happens sometimes. But if you have the mechanical skills to be good at like the where this should be, the common sense of uh, this unit needs to sit like this and make sure so that somebody can service it. It's serviceable for a tech that has to come back.
Mhm.
That you can braze and learn how to use a torch without burning the fucking house down or burning yourself. The wiring stuff it'll come. It definitely like in the beginning. Um, Especially when it gets to residential, man. Like the biggest thing that I would say when somebody's starting out is learn how to read a wiring schematic. And you probably won't need it when you're doing installs, but the sooner you learn it, the better off you'll be when you start to do service. Because being able to trace a wire out and knowing where it goes really, really helps. And it'll be honest, there's a lot of guys out there that have been in the trade for 8, 10 plus years that they can't read a wiring schematic. I didn't know it was like that. Like I had a guy that I used to work with, and I was like, "Hey, man, look at that schematic and figure out where this wire goes so we can trace it back." Granted, it was a commercial unit. Matter of fact, I think it was like a Train Voyager, like 10-ton package unit, and I guess he was embarrassed to tell me that he didn't know, and he's just sitting there like deer in the headlights, just looking at it, and I'm like, did you figure out where it went?" And he's like, no, man. He's like, I can't figure it out. And I was like, do you know how to read a schematic? And he was like, I ain't gonna lie to you, Gil. I don't know. And I was like, dude, but just say that. It's fine. You ain't gotta feel bad about it. That's how we learn, It's all good. Um, so do you guys pull permits on your installs?
Yes, every one of them.
Yeah, it's so you guys, with us, I mean, we're licensed, insured. I'm not going to sit here and say that we pull permits on every one because I'd be lying to you. We leave it up to the customer, but we do every job as if we're pulling a permit. So as far as how we install something doesn't change. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter because we have some counties here that don't require permits. They're going to. It's coming, but they don't right now. But if we do like full duct jobs or big houses or stuff like that, then obviously if it's 100% required, we always do. But I know here we have new codes like you have to, what is it in some of the counties? Both refrigerant lines have to be insulated. So the suction and the liquid line. There has to be a secondary water switch. There has to be, locking refrigerant caps. There has to be UV protection outside. What's some of the other ones that? It's a bunch of stuff they came with. You guys have any goofy codes like that? Or they pretty lenient?
I mean, I feel like we're pretty lenient. We ain't got none of that shit, to be honest with you. Um, I know a little about 30 minutes away from us, we got to insulate rain lines, but that's I guess that's normal.
Yeah, I think since we're so close to DC, man, it gets crazy. Um, Sorry, I don't know. Oh, people talking about learning how to read a psychometric chart too is hard. That's a little bit harder to read than a wiring schematic, though. I would agree that that's kind of hard. Um, Not to bounce around, but I always ask people this, and if you don't know the answer to this, that's fine. But I'm gonna tell you that I think you should at some point figure it out. What is your end game in this industry? Do you eventually want to own your own business? Do you eventually want to be a manager? Do you want to where do you see yourself going in this industry?
Well, to be honest with you, when I started, I just wanted to get my 2 years in and just have it as a backup plan and go do what I wanted to. But obviously, it's went a different course than that. But I thought about the whole owning the company thing, and I just be honest with you, I don't think that's for me. So I want to go. I don't want to leave because I love learning new stuff every day, and this trade is awesome for that. So I mean, I would love to stay in it. I'd love to retire from it.
That's sweet. I mean, and that's a good answer, man. And it's this is a very good trade. And once you get into the service side and you I mean, to me, especially residential service is where the real money is, as far as on the residential side. And you really learn how to go all out and really serve other people. So they always call it, being a servant to your customers, being able to provide them options, and if your company, how they pay and stuff like that. Like I said, there's guys out here 24, 25 years old, and these guys make 150, 160 grand a year. I mean, they're making more money than their parents, and they don't know what to do with it. So sky is definitely the limit. So it's a good trade. As far as owning a company, it's good that you say that, because it's good for people to want to be an owner and own their own company. That's fine. I get it. It's American dream, but there's more to it than people think. It's not just, be your own boss and being the owner and now I'm king dingaling. It's, just because you're a really good HVAC tech doesn't mean you're a good business owner. It's two different skill sets. So that's what I tell a lot of guys when they reach out to me and ask questions. It's like, hey, that's awesome that you're a good technician, you're good at HVAC, but learn a little bit about business before you just go out on that road, because, we hear about the ones that are successes. You don't hear about the ones that fail. You know what I mean? That's the sad part. I've been there, done that. So it gets, it gets crazy. Yeah, but so I would definitely think like your company, like in your, I always tell people this, always have an end game. And what I mean that is kind of have a path that you want to go, and then you kind of you dissect that so that you figure out how to get to it. Only because none of us want to be 50 years old clowning addicts. Your body's gonna be. I mean, it's just the truth, man. Your body's gonna be tore up by then. Your knees, your back. So that's why I always say have an end game. Make sure that you have if you're at a company where there's somewhere for you to go, that you can go into management, go into sales, tech support, whatever it is. It's just good to have that end game in mind. And it doesn't mean it's not going to change, because you could say right now, I want to do this, and then 20 years from now, another opportunity presents itself, and then you decide to go that route. But it's just good to think that way. Does your company, do they offer training? Do you guys have in-house training or get sent to training or anything like that?
He'll send us to a class every once in a while. I would probably say every 4 to 5 months we'll go to a class, like a mini split class or wiring class or refrigerant class, anything in that nature. If he can get his hands on it and do it, then he'll do it.
Sweet. That's good, man. The good owners do that. The owner of our company is, my friend Ryan, and then our GM is actually Amanda, was just in here. We send our techs, we California to different trainings. They go to the Ultimate Technician Academy in Arkansas. We got 2 guys going there next month, and we pay for all that stuff. I mean, obviously they got to have a little bit of commitment towards us, so that we don't spend, $20,000 sending them to school and then they turn around and leave. But we fork that bill because it only makes it makes them better, and at the same token, it comes full circle and makes us better. So it definitely works out, man. And that's what I always tell people, like, you got to be trying to get better on your own time. Like, that's awesome that your owner, gives you that kind of stuff, but there's so many free resources now. YouTube, like Brian Orr, HVAC School, amazing stuff. Brian is a smart dude. He's one of the smartest minds in this industry. I've had the pleasure of meeting Brian and talking with him several times. Mr. Craig, I can never pronounce his last name. He has the YouTube channel, AC Service Tech, residential stuff, amazing channel. And there's so much stuff, to learn from that. Thanks, Phil. Appreciate you, buddy. I see you in here. Like, there's so much stuff you can learn from those things, man. And then now they have Interplay Learning, that one that you ever seen that? It's online, like the virtual, like you have like a virtual toolbox and you can grab your meter and take the panel off the outdoor unit. Like, it's pretty slick stuff.
I've heard about it. Yeah.
Yeah, those things are neat, and they're pretty affordable. I mean, even if your owner doesn't do it, I mean, you can. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm right next door to Arkansas. Never heard of that training. Really, man. Ultimate Technician Academy is in North Little Rock, Arkansas, young, and they have a great reputation. 2 of the best schools that I've heard is that one, and the Perfect Technician Academy, which is in Weatherford, Texas. But that one is almost like a college. You go there and you're there for like 6 months. But I've heard the school was amazing. So I know people personally that I've went to both schools. There's a lot of other business owners. There's other technicians that highly recommend both of them. So obviously we can't have guys going for 6 months. So that's why we're doing the other one. But we also do we have a whole training center in our facility, whiteboards, TV, equipment, tables and chairs and stuff like that. So we always have different kind of in-house trainings all the time just to try to do stuff. And I really like that because most people know who Jim Bergman is. He is one of the greatest minds in our industry, Jim Bergman. Speaking of the iManifold, he was one of the people that helped invent that and was on the team. But he made a comment one time where he said, you don't really know something until you have to teach it to somebody else. And I know it has made me better learning something, trying to teach other people, because I have to make sure that I say it the right way so that you understand what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm not like, you take the thingamabob and you put it in the whatchamacallit and you turn it, I mean, so it does help. You guys, is it more gas than electric, or is it more kind of 50-50 heat pumps and gas?
I would say a 50-50, yeah, for sure.
That's sweet. That's pretty sweet. And American Standard. Sorry, let me move this. So I know we were talking before. So if some 17, 18-year-old kid is, wet behind the ears, doesn't know what they want to do, you, as being a greenhorn, a younger guy in the trade, what would you tell them?
Man, just stay at it. I mean, like that first year, like when you actually sit down and decide that this is what you're going to do, that first year is, I would say, definitely the hardest year. Like, staying with it and sticking in there, because you're going to feel like you're not, at least I did. I felt like I wasn't learning anything. A year goes by and I just feel like I'm still, first week when I started. I would definitely say if you can stick it out for that first year, and then you got a little bit under your belt, then it starts coming a whole lot easier. Just ask questions. Like, never stop asking questions. If you don't understand something, then ask somebody. Like, don't just sit there and try to teach yourself. You know,
Yeah.
I would definitely
Amen.
say that's probably the biggest one. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like I said earlier about the mistakes, man. Like we're all learning, and the biggest thing that I say, not to be the old guy preaching down to you, but just things that I tell people that work for me, and things that I learned along the way is don't ever, for one, don't think you know more than you do. Because it happens a lot of young guys, they learn a little bit, they finally start to figure shit out. They know enough to be dangerous, and then they think they know, they get cocky, they think they know more than they do, and all they end up doing is stunting their career and fucking shit up because now they stop learning. You always have to be learning. I've been doing this 20 something years. I know different people in these comments been doing it longer than me, and they're all still learning shit every day. You have to be that way. Um, and I was that guy, man. I work with my dad. I first left my dad. I thought I was king dingaling, and I'd be calling my dad like, "Hey, I'm on this unit," and he helped me until one day he was like, "Hey, man, are you gonna give me half your paycheck at the end of the week?" I was like, "What are you talking about, Dad?" He was like, "You're never gonna learn if you don't figure out yourself." He's like, "So don't call me." He's like, "If you're safe, you're healthy, nothing's wrong with you, don't call me till you get off work." Click. I was like, "Man, what the fuck, Dad? Like that's bullshit." But it's the best thing he ever did to me. It's the best thing he ever could have ever done, because I couldn't rely on him anymore. So I started reading books, watching videos, all that kind of stuff to be able to try to get better. And ask questions. Those senior guys you have around, ask questions all the time, man. It's just, and if you don't know something, say like, "Hey, I don't understand this." Like that's how you're gonna learn. And then the other thing is, it seems like you're not that kind of guy, but I was a tool whore. Your tools will build up over time. There's no way that in the first couple of years that you can go out and buy the nicest of everything, the fanciest gauges, the Vito bags, all the Klein tools, and the Weehaw or whatever everything else that's out there. It happens over time. You know what I mean? In the beginning, you just need something to get the job done. You know?
yeah, yeah. No, I completely agree on that for sure. But yeah, I mean, like I mean, if you have a boss like I do that's willing to teach you, willing to put you places where you can learn, or you got them old fuckers that you're working with and they know everything, which they know a lot. Take advantage of it. Like it's there. You're at work. You know, it's in front of you. Take advantage of it. There's so many things that you can do outside of work also. Like you said, I mean, YouTube, I listen to podcasts throughout the day while I'm working. If I've got time or I'm by myself, I will listen to them. I mean, there's an endless amount of learning, and there's always more than one way to do things. Like there's just so much to learn. There really is.
Yeah, and most of it, like all the stuff you just said, it's free. So it don't cost you a dime.
Yeah.
There's enough free content out there, like you said, podcasts, YouTube, um, different videos, stuff like that don't cost anything. So people can't use well, I don't have a whole bunch of money. I don't have the time. Hey, man, you shit. You know what I mean? You sit on the toilet, watch a video. You know what I mean? Like there's always an excuse for somebody, to push things off and stuff like that. But there's no reason that, well, I guess that's the motor you have in yourself too, the drive. Most people know my story. Years ago, um I fell to addiction and stuff like that, and when I got clean, I knew that I had no time to waste. So I hit the ground running. Nobody was gonna stop me from doing what the fuck I had to do, and I wasn't gonna let no grass grow under my feet. And I've just carried that with me. You know what I mean? Like if I'm gonna do something and I really want to do it, then I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that I'll still procrastinate on small little things because I don't want to lie to you, but um, that's kind of how you have to be, man. Nobody's gonna give you shit in life. You want something, fucking go get it. Nobody's gonna knock on your door and say,
Yeah.
"Here's $1 million." But it sounds like you work for a good one though, man. Somebody that's trying to train you and stuff like that. So well, let me ask you this. You said this is the third company you worked for?
Yeah, this is the third.
What was the biggest issue with 1 and 2?
Well, one was a really good company that did stuff right. Just the boss was a little hard to work for. The second one, they did things half-assed a whole lot, and the the long term was not there. Yeah, it's a good company to when you show up. If you've got 6 months under your belt, here's a van, have at it. Yeah, I mean that's good. It puts you out there on your own and it helps you learn a little faster. But at the end of the day, it's like this is what I'm gonna be doing for the next 40 years if I stay here. I need to go somewhere that I can learn something new every single day and not do the same thing every day.
That's cool. So they give you they give you a van and stuff now, or is that something you got to work up to?
I hopefully that comes in the summertime. Cross your fingers.
Nice, yeah. I remember, man, when you're a young tech and you get that first van, and normally it's a shitty van, in the grand scheme of things, but it doesn't matter because it's yours. It's the first one. Like I remember the first van that I got. Well, I drove the van with my dad, but that was different. When I left him and I got my first like van that was mine, I was even a smoker, but the guy I remember his name. His name was Sully. It was an old guy that retired, and I got his van, and this thing smelled like a fucking ashtray, like a cigar. And there was like a tuna fish sandwich like under the seat that smelled. It was gross. But I love that fucking van because it was my first van. I'll never fucking forget it. And it meant something to me. It was kind of, sentimental that, that was kind of the beginning of my journey away from my dad, because I'm second generation. My dad's the reason I got into the industry. And that was my first job away from him with my own van, and it was cool. That van nowadays, if somebody came to work for us at Beltway and I gave them that van, they'd be like, "What the fuck is that thing, man? Like you should set it on fire." So is your company? Are they rocking some nicer vans? They have older vans. How does that work?
Yeah, we got a 4-door truck that has a lift gate on it, and then a couple vans here and there. Um, but yeah, I mean it's all top notch. Everything looks good when you pull up in the customer's driveway, which is obviously a plus. But I would on that second company I went to. I mean, if I wouldn't have went there, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at now because they gave me a van and threw me out there and said, "Here, have at it. Good luck." Which probably cost them a lot of money, but it taught me a whole lot because here I am in a van not knowing what I'm doing, training somebody. So you got to figure it out pretty fast, which helped. Probably wasn't the most practical thing, but I mean, it definitely helped for sure.
Sometimes when they throw you to the wolves, man, it's fight or flight. So you either figure it out. So you either rise to the occasion or you fucking fail. So, I mean, it sounds like it's good that you got out of it, but it's good that, you kind of rose to the occasion. So company number 2, was that a big company?
No, they were probably about the same size. They just did a lot more volume, I would say for sure. I mean, 1 to 2 installs a day, putting stuff in fast. I mean, working a lot of overtime, ton of overtime.
Oh, yeah, because normally, a lot of big companies do that, where they'll bring new guys in, and they're just like, "Oh, hey, you got gauges? You got an EPA card? There you go, man. Here's your keys. Have at it, buddy. You got a full schedule tomorrow." Um, so, and I guess as a boss, as a manager, I want to set people up for success. So I think throwing people out there is not the best for everybody. But sometimes you can only learn so much theory, so much classroom stuff before you got to just do it. You're either going to fail or you're going to flourish. If you fail, okay, what did you fail out? Let's learn it, let's fix it, and let's try it again. So, I mean, I think part of that you almost have to do. So, I guess I'm trying to make sure I don't ask you the same questions. I should have wrote these down as I was asking them to you. So obviously you did say like your end game, like eventually you do want to be like on the service side, correct? Like move away from installs at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to be honest with you. I'd love to learn, the sales side too. But yeah, I mean, service would be cool. I personally like installs more, but service is there, and I'd love to learn it.
Yeah, it's good if you have a company like you're at where like I always liked when I was still in the field and still being a technician that, I did the service, I did the sales stuff, but I still had those days where, I could go help with an install. It was just change of pace. I like doing those different things because I did like doing the installs and making it look nice and putting my own little twist on it and stuff like that. But I didn't want to do it every day. I got used to being like roaming around by myself. You know what I mean? So
Hmm. Yeah, no, that's definitely good. It's good to take a break from installs every once in a while.
yeah, that's cool that that you're learning that. So when you guys do a normal, like, say you do like a furnace coil condenser kind of install, is it a 2-man job, 3-man? How many people you guys normally have on it?
Well, it just depends on how busy you are. I mean, if we ain't too busy and we can, you know, teach the people who's there, as in me and the other two, and he'll send us all out there, and it'll be a learning curve. But most of the time, it's 2 to 3.
That's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet. Um, do you guys have any license requirements in North Carolina as far as like, well, you should have to have like an EPA or CFC card, right?
Yeah,
And then
I
is
don't have mine. I work under my bosses.
okay, and then and then you guys have like actual like licensing, like apprentice journeyman.
Yeah.
You do okay, because it's crazy because that's what we have here. So you have to get EPA cards. I mean, which all that is it means that you know what you're doing with refrigerant. That's all that means. It doesn't mean you can fix anything.
Hmm.
But apprentice I think costs you $10. You start your time. You gotta work 4,000 hours or something. Then you can sit for your so what is it 4,000 hours or 4 years or something like that. You sit for your journeyman's test. Journeyman's you have to work under a master for it's so much time, and then you can sit for your master's test. But when I found out that there's more states, I mean, no, that what is it? There's only 18 states that require licensing. The rest of them, like, yeah,
Really.
they don't have anything. Like Pennsylvania, that's right by me. You need nothing. Like anybody could go up there and be like, I have an HVAC company. I think Texas doesn't have it, but you at least, I don't know if David Lavender's still in here. If you're still in here, man, you'll know this because I'm pretty sure David's Texas. That you, they have like a contractor's license. You got to pay the money, you get a contractor's license, which is still better than nothing. PA, you don't have to know shit, and you just go up there and every swinging dick has an HVAC company. Because I have a brother-in-law who, he's atrocious, and the fact that he owns his own company is fucking sad. It is, man. It's I feel sorry for customers that he goes to their house because he's a piece of shit. Yeah, I know, Kraus. It is crazy, man, because we don't have that here. That's for damn sure. One of the guys, Kraus, he's local near me. There's David Lavender. Contractors after after 4 years under. So yeah, in Texas, if they work under a guy that has a contractor's license for 4 years, they can get their contractor's license. So well, that's cool. Because I know, like, talking to people like Canada, like I give it to Canada, like they're pretty straight as far as what they have to do, like their red seal and different seals as far as their requirements for technician. Like it's like broad, like Canada, like the whole freaking country has standards that everybody has to meet. It's not just little areas here and there. And then I think Australia is pretty similar because I know like you can't install 80% furnaces. I'm pretty sure their ACs, at least in Australia, they it has to be either 2-stage or inverter outdoor units. There is no single stage stuff. So the United States, we're far behind. Have you guys, when you guys are installing stuff, is it a lot of 14 SEER, 16 SEER? Have you done any like of the high end stuff?
Yeah, we actually do quite a bit of the high end stuff. It's a little bit over my head at this point in time, but yeah, we do a lot of high tier stuff and a lot of 14, 15, 16, or 14 and 16. But yeah, I mean, yeah, we do a little bit of, I mean, literally of it all.
Sweet, that's good that you're learning, man, because that high end stuff's gonna be the future, man. Like, I don't know if a lot of you guys in the chat know that there's a lot of refrigerant stuff that's gonna be coming up in 2023. We've been talking about it at work. A lot of these new manufacturers, like they're changing the efficiency ratings. Like it's gonna change a lot of different things. I mean, we'll get through it. It's gonna be just like the whole 22 phase out thing, but It's just something that everybody needs to be prepared for, because I think there's going to be 2 refrigerants it's going to be coming out with, and like when we went from 22 to 410, all the manufacturers had to use 410 in their equipment. So we knew all new equipment coming out had 410 in it, kind of like now. Well, when this other stuff flips, the manufacturers can pick and choose. It's either, as long as it's one of these 2, it doesn't matter which one they pick. So if you're somebody that deals like you, if you're only dealing with one manufacturer, then you're probably not bad. But if you have to install, 1 or 2 different ones, these 2 different manufacturers could use 2 different refrigerants. So I think it's kind of stupid, man. I'm really not looking forward to that.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, it's just going to be 2 more refrigerants that we got to carry on the truck. But I mean, Christ, you're starting out, man. By the end of your career, God knows what fucking refrigerant we'll be using by then. Just as long as I've been in the trade, the R12, the 22, all the different ones that they phased out because it's bad for the ozone and all that crock of shit. But there's not really much you can say about it, because if you don't do it, they'll take your fucking license away. So it's pretty wild. Yeah, man, I'm trying to think. I think I almost probably, damn, man, I can't believe we've been talking for an hour already. That went by kind of fast.
My
R12.
God.
Yeah, R12 was the best. R12 was good refrigerant, man. But apparently it's I don't know, killing rhinos in Africa or something, so you can't use R12 anymore. And so I don't know. I just think it's funny. You can go out with refrigerant and I could hold the hose up and blow it and then go get my leak detector and come back and hold it up and it won't even go off. Because you know what I mean? Because it's all gonna dissipate, and it's all gonna go to the ground and dissipate. So it's like, but then again, I guess it's the government. Whenever the government gets into stuff, there's not much you can do about it. So it is what it is.
I feel like money has a lot to do with it.
It is, man, and it's those people that get their pockets greased, the lobbyists and stuff, and that's in every industry, it's in every trade, and there's not much that we can do about it. But I think that's awesome, man, that somebody brought it to you, because that's part of the reason why I try to do this podcast, man. I try to be an advocate for the industry. I'm a father of 4, 2 boys, 2 girls. Obviously, if they want to do HVAC, great. That's cool. I would support them in any way. I want them to do whatever they have to do to be happy. But, I want, well, let me ask you this, man. Like, when you were coming out of high school, is it still the mentality that they kind of push on you? Like, if you don't go to college, you won't be successful?
That never really bothered me. My boss that I was working for at the time, he wanted me to go to college, and he actually paid me for the hours I was there, so I took advantage of that. But when I decided to leave there, I just said, "Screw college. I felt like I didn't need it. That's just the way I felt." But I was getting paid to go, so I took advantage of that.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not saying that college is not a bad thing. If you are good, and I feel like a broken record because I say the same thing all the time. Like, if you are good at learning in a classroom setting and you know what you want to do and you're going to go for like a hard skill, then by all means do it. But I feel like a lot of young kids, they go to college because they feel like that's the only thing. If they don't, they're letting their parents down, or they're letting the society down because they didn't go to college. And then they go get these bullshit degrees, and then they come back from college with all this fucking debt with like a business management degree. Okay, well, what fucking business are you going to manage? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It's got to be a degree in something, like lawyer, doctor, fucking something that you can get a job when you get out. And I just want kids to know that the trades are a viable option. You can have a good life. You can make a good living, and not just the ones who only know the industry like me. If my dad didn't do this industry, I wouldn't be doing it. I wouldn't know shit about it. I don't know what the fuck I'd be doing right now, to be honest. Probably be like a prostitute. I don't know, maybe. But yeah, I want those kids to know that, like, they laugh about those plumbers that come in their house with their butt crack hanging out, but you don't know that plumber might make $100,000+ a year, or like some of the memes you see going around, you know, like so and so went 4 years of college and has $150,000 in credit card debt, can't find a job, and so is coming to turn her power off, you know, and stuff like that. So it's what is it? Gender studies is paying great these days. Yeah, you're probably right. Fuck it, I'm gonna go be Olympic swimmer. You know what I mean? Apparently dudes can do women's swimming now. So let me stop. I should not talk about those kind of topics on the HVAC podcast. Stop it, Gil. But yeah, I'm gonna go do that. I can do that, and I'll be a fucking gold medalist, and that'll be the shit. But yeah, man, like I won't sit here and go, man, unless if there's anything you'd like to talk about. I mean, I think I've drilled you with enough fucking questions here. I'll ask you this. What kind of, I know you said you have analog gauges. What kind of gauges are they?
I'm pretty sure they're Yellow Jackets.
All right, my fucking man. Good job. All right. Yellow Jacket's been one of the longest sponsors that we've had. Leah for the win. It's been one of my longest sponsors since I've been doing the podcast. They're fucking amazing. That was the first set of gauges I ever had, and that's why it's awesome to be able to partner up with them now. Out of all your tools, what's something that you need that you don't have?
Oh, that's a good question. I've got a little bit of it all, to be honest with you. I would like one of those. You ever seen them hole cutters for sheet metal?
Mm-hmm.
The ones that go in a drill? Yeah, I'd like one of those for sure.
Well,
I actually may go buy one tomorrow. Yeah, that's a good idea.
I was gonna say I'm doing. I know you said you don't do much, so they provide a vacuum pump for you.
I don't have a personal one, no. I just use what's there. But I mean, if I were to go out on my own, do a side job or something like that, then yeah, for sure, I would have to have one.
Well, I got a Yellow Jacket one sitting back here, man. I get them for nothing. So when we get done here, you have the email. Email me your address, and I'll send you a Yellow Jacket vacuum pump.
Oh, man, I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course, man. I appreciate you coming on, man. The fact that, you know, you are a younger guy, but you had enough excitement to want to come on and talk about the industry and stuff like that, dude. That's awesome because, like I said, there's not a lot of guys that are your age that are excited about being in the trade, that are like kind of have that mentality. So that's cool, and I'm glad that you came on. We'll have to bring you on a little bit down the road and see if you're, you know, still in the industry, or see if you're like, man, fuck this job, I don't want to do it anymore. Like, you can keep this bullshit, you know. You've already had like summers like in the attics, you've already had like that brutal treatment, so you know what you got yourself into.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Just making sure, because some of them young guys are like, man, this job's good. They come during the off season, and like the first summer they're like, fuck this, man, this is I don't want anything to do with this. Yeah, so I'll grab it. Yeah, so I get a bunch of them, and then so this is what is this? The Yellow Jacket YJ2 two-stage vacuum pump, model 93266. I got the box in here somewhere because they'll send them and I'll take them out and make videos and stuff, but I don't actually do anything with them. I just got one of the new Bullet vacuum pumps too. Well, you can choose that, or here, I'll show you these other two things. I'll let you pick between them. Yeah, because I got to keep the Bullet for a little bit because I have a video I have to make for sponsorship. But that's funny because the Yellow Jacket Bullet is the first pump that I ever bought with my own money. That's what I used when I was a technician before this podcast was ever thought of. So now that the new one's in, I'm gonna do like a comparison between the new one and old one. But so I have that. Um, I have a Klein. Here, let me do the wide angle one. I have a Klein meter. It's probably better off with the other angle. It's the Klein HVAC
that's
plant meter, and I have a Supco inspection camera.
Oh, we were just using one the other day.
Yeah, I definitely the vacuum pump's the most valuable of all three, but yeah, man, if you want that when we get done, man, send me your address. I'll send it to you. Oh, he said
Cool
Gil's
deal, man. I appreciate that.
to his candy shop. Yeah, I got all kind of shit back there, man. That's why I said I have a bunch of giveaways coming up, man. I just have to actually do them. Yeah, everybody's saying take the pump, bro. Take the pump. That's funny. Yeah, man. Well, I won't keep you, man. I'll end this. I could sit on here and chat to all these people in here for a second, but good on you, man. I'm glad you got into the trade. That you're a young guy. It sounds like you have a good head on your shoulders, as far as like your ethics and wanting to learn and trying to do things right, learn things the right way. So that's really cool, man. Like I said, I don't know everything, but if I can ever help you in any way, please don't hesitate to reach out. You have the email. We hooked up on Instagram and stuff. So just let me know, man. Like I said, if I can help, just reach out to me and then I'll get this pump to you, man. But keep fucking doing what you're doing, brother.
Yeah, man. I appreciate that. I really do. Appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, of course, man. Thank you for listening. So just make sure that Uncensored is one of those podcasts you're listening to when you're driving around, all right? Tell all your peeps in
Oh, hell yeah.
North Carolina, man. Listen to fucking Uncensored, and all the merchandise will be done here soon. So I'll have shirts sent out to people and stuff like that. I got some friends are making a website for me with a merch store, and I'm only doing the merch store because so many people ask for stuff. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. I mean, I don't need to make money off of that. I'm not trying to be a clothes brand. But the fact that so many people message me saying, "Hey, I want a shirt," or "Hey, Gil, I like your shirt," because I got stuff made for me. Like when I go to events and travel, and people are like, "I want that shirt." I'm like, "Well, you can't have my shirt because I don't have a," you know what I mean? It's just one of them. So I'll send some of those things out. So yeah, man, I won't keep you. I gotta make sure you wake up. I don't want your boss fucking sending me a text message saying I'm keeping his employees up late and shit. So, and you're in the same time zone as me. But Trevor, I appreciate you, buddy. Like I said before, reach out if I can ever help you. Keep doing what you're doing, man. And yeah, stay in touch, all right?
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. I will.
All right, buddy. Let me go ahead and start ending this thing out. You can hop off. You can hang tight in the background. It's up to you, man. It doesn't matter.
I got to figure out how to hop off.
Here, I can do it for you if you need it.
All right. Appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Have a good one. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for coming out, man. So the next couple of weeks, the podcast has been booked up so much that I might be doing like at least two podcasts per week. So at least video. The audio podcast, I'm probably going to keep just doing them one every Monday. I might release an extra, but that way I start to get a little bit ahead. That way if something ever happens, like getting sick or busy at work or something, I got something to fall back on. And that's how I used to be back when me and Kelly were doing it. And then, we used up all of them, because normally you never ever want to be like where what I record on Wednesday comes out on Monday. Not that it's a bad thing, but when you do that, you have no buffer zone. You know what I mean? But thank all you guys for coming out here. I really do appreciate you guys so much. So, Kraus, Hughes, man, I appreciate you, brother. Awesome live streams that you and Rick and everything HVAC are doing. YouTube channel. Most of you guys already know him, but anybody watching this, if you have not checked out Hughes, man, HVAC, please go do so. Let's see. C Young. Young, you got a YouTube channel too, don't you, buddy? Thanks, Dave. I appreciate it, buddy. I appreciate you, my man. Yeah, so go support all the YouTubers, man. Check out their channel. You know, whether it's a podcast, a YouTube channel, there's a lot of work that goes on in the background for these people to do that. And they don't do it for the money. It's just for the fun and the passion of wanting to help somebody else. That's really, really what it is. So, my pleasure, buddy. So, okay, I knew there was one that was C Young. I didn't know if it was you or not. So, no worries. See? But, well, C Young, go send him an email, okay? I want you to send him a private message him. Just don't send him like dick pics or nothing. You know what I mean? But I want you to show him some love too, okay? But hope everybody had a great Wednesday, man. Have a great week. I'll start to end this show. Did I rip another guy's? No, you didn't. Hughes, man, or the another YouTuber. Isn't there a YouTube channel that's something young? I thought there was. Emails for days, LOL. That's funny as shit. So all you guys that are here now, man, I'm gonna do a giveaway, and I'll make sure that you guys know first. Because when I do giveaways, man, I want to do it to the people that are here every week, the people that listen, the people that watch. I feel like a lot of times I do giveaways, and it's always the random people who like watch the podcast one time and happen to win something. So, whatever, we'll see. So I got that meter and some other stuff. I got some yellow jacket shit to give away and some other stuff. So I gotta do a live stream or something here soon. It's just been high school baseball season started up, so my oldest son is in his groove, and I don't miss games. So I gotta figure it out, but we will figure it out. But all right, I'm rambling again. I'm talking too much. Look at me, fucking stumbling over my words here. I love you guys, man. I appreciate you. I really do. I thank each and every one of you for the support that you give me. It really does mean the world to me. Guys, be safe out there. All right, please. We all got somebody to make it home to. Always make it home the same way you left. Yes, that's who it is. You got that, Young. You're right. That's exactly what it is. That's it. That was my mix-up. Do the little things, man. Set yourself apart, man. It was so awesome tonight to be able to interview this kid that's coming in the industry that gives a damn and tries to work hard and tries to do things the right way, tries to learn, and was willing to come on a fucking podcast and talk about it. It was awesome. So it's so happy to see. It makes me feel good about, you know, the next generation. There is enough good ones coming in to try to take over, to be able to hand the reins to, you know, whenever our time or your time or however out you are comes to an end. So, yes. But make sure you guys, you like this, you know, whether it's on Facebook, make sure you like, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're not part of HVAC Uncensored Nation, please go do so. Follow me on all the social media channels. I would really appreciate it. That's all I ask for. If I can get that support on those channels, and I'll be honest with you, that's what helps the sponsors come here, and the more free shit they give me, the more stuff I like to give to you guys. That's pretty much what it boils down to. And yeah, support the rest of the community. You know, people like Hughes, man, and all those other guys, my friends over at Overtime, Adam, who was in here earlier. Isaiah has a YouTube channel. My buddies Josh and Tersh with the Service Business Mastery podcast. If you own a company, that's the podcast to listen to. Their shows have been fucking on fire lately. I've been loving them. And once again, I'm rambling. I'm going to go. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thanks for the support. And until next week, I will talk to you mofos later. All right. Peace. I might do a live stream this weekend. So put in the comments if you want me to do a live stream and you would like to come hang out, let me know. And I'll make sure it's not the same time as yours, guys. Hughes, man. All right? Put it in the comments. I'm going to leave now. All right? I'm still here. All right? I love you guys. Goodbye.
Thanks for listening to the HVAC Uncensored Podcast. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram, or email us anytime at hvacuncensored@gmail.com. Now, get back to work. Shut this down. The views and opinions shared on the HVAC Uncensored podcast may not necessarily be the views and opinions of our sponsors or guests.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll do the live stream. I'll put it out like the podcast so you guys will know. All right, I'm really leaving this.